We're on. I know why I waited, why I promised to be true. Prayed each night for someone exactly like you. Oh, why should I spend money on a show or two when no one does those love scenes exactly like you? You make me feel so grand. I want to hand the world to you. You seem to understand. Each fool is in a dream. I'm dreaming, scheme, I'm scheming. Now I know why mother taught me to be true. Why she made me for someone exactly like you. Exactly like you. My name is Greg Poppleton and
Grahame Conlon.
And I'll be singing the songs of the 1920s and 1930s, and Grahame will be accompanying me on the banjo and on the guitar, and also playing a couple of 1920s and 30s songs on the banjo and guitar. So that song, a welcoming song, Hello Everybody, Exactly Like You, was written by Jimmy McHugh, and the lyrics were written by Dorothy Fields. And Dorothy Fields was one of the great writers of American pop music, and she was writing right up until the 1970s. She wrote, she wrote Hey Big Spender. She wrote that, and her last musical in the 70s was something called Seesaw. So she was big. She also wrote the lyrics. Did you know? She's also a librettist. She also wrote the lyrics to Annie Get Your Gun.
I did not know that.
You did not know that? And it was her idea. She went to Oscar Hammerstein and said, Oscar, I've got an idea about Annie Oakley. And history was made. Speaking of history, here's some TV history. William Frawley, Fred Mertz in I Love Lucy, Uncle Bob in My Three Sons. He introduced a lot of songs people think were introduced by other people, like Mammy. Mammy, my little Mammy, was not introduced by Al Jolson. It was introduced by William Frawley, and he introduced this song back in 1922 when he was a Broadway star. He also started making films in 1916.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. It was before I was born. Carolina in the Morning. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. No one could be sweeter than my sweetie when I meet her in the morning. When the morning glories twine around the door, whispering pretty stories I long to hear once more. Strolling with my girlie where the dew is early, early in the morning. Butterflies will flutter up and kiss each little buttercup at morning. If I had Aladdin's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. In the morning. in the morning. Well, the morning glories fly around the door, whispering pretty stories I love to hear once more. Strolling with my girl where the dew is early, early. Butterflies will flutter up and kiss each little buttercup at. If I had Aladdin's lamp for only a day, why, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be funner than to be in Carolina in the morning. In the morning. In the morning. Beautiful harmonies there, Grahame.
Well, thank you very much.
Beautiful harmonies. A beautiful song. Let's harmonise through Tiptoe Through the Tulips.
Ooh.
Tiptoe Through the Tulips, which was introduced by Nick Lucas, the singing troubadour. Did you know that?
I never knew that. Not Tiny Tim.
And Tiny Tim sung it later in the 70s. And in fact, you know a few people who accompanied Tiny Tim on that famous Luna Park concert, which went for 24 hours.
Marathon. It was a real marathon.
Marathon. Well, Nick Lucas, the singing troubadour, was an inspiration for Tiny Tim. He also happened to sing our first song exactly like you. But this is the one that he's most famous for, and I'm going to use the megaphone, which is loud. So I'll point it in this direction. It also means it's also pretty ugly. If I go like this, you see that my tonsils are gone. So you don't want to see down my throat. So I'll point it this way. Here we go. Tiptoe to the window, by the window, that is where I'll become tiptoe through the tulips with me. Tiptoe from your pillow to the shadow of a willow tree. Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. And flowers will stray, will keep those showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips with me. And the flowers will stray, will keep those showers away. And if I kiss you in the garden, in the moonlight, will you pardon me? Come tiptoe through the tulips, tiptoe through the tulips. Oh, come and tiptoe through the tulips with me. I think I have to tune this megaphone. It's getting a bit rattly. It's time now for an instrumental, Grahame.
Oh my goodness.
And Grahame is going to pick up his guitar to play a song of his choosing from the 1920s and 1930s. What are you going to play for us, Grahame?
It's an old Duke Ellington thing. It's a bit of a swinger. It's called, what was it called? It was called... Oh, have we got any power? Excuse me, we've lost power.
We've lost power, but that's fine. We've lost power because mainly we're acoustic. We just need a little bit of amplification here with a jazz guitar. How much is this guitar?
It's old. It's nearly as old as me. This one's about 55 years old.
55 years old. Wow. Have you thought of the name of the Duke Ellington song?
It's called In a Mellow Tone.
I shall sit back and enjoy.
Wish me luck.
Thank you. In a mellow tone. Thank you, Grahame. That certainly was a swinger.
Hey.
Yeah.
A little bit chilly in here.
Let's keep your guitar for this next set of hand-picked and bespoke tunes. Handcrafted tunes. What's the next one that I've got here on this list?
We've got Always.
Always. Oh, yes. Now, this is one that we'd love to hear you singing along to. This is Irving Berlin's wedding present to his second wife. He said when he gave her the royalties to this song on their wedding day that this will make you a millionaire, and it made her a multi-millionaire. And it's a song that we still play at weddings.
Absolutely. Very big favourite at weddings.
It is a big favourite as the bridal waltz. Here is Always. But before we do...
Post-nasal drip.
Post-nasal drip, yes. I just have to sniff some snuff. I'll be loving you. Great. Jazz police. The jazz police are just calling. They're telling us, stop playing that jazz. So we'll play a waltz.
As we were.
We'll play a jazz waltz. That'll fool them. I'll be loving you always with a love that's true always. When the things you plan need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. These may not be fair, always. That's when I'll be there, always. Not for just an hour, not for just just a day, not for just a year, but always. Now sing along with us. Sing along. Irving Berlin's Always. If you don't know all the words, just sing Always where they appear in the song. We don't have the subtitles with a bouncing ball.
No bouncing ball.
No bouncing ball, but you've heard the song once at least, so you know where Always is. In fact, just in case, I'll go through the lyrics again. I'll be loving you always with a love that's true always. When the things you plan need a helping hand, I will understand always, always. Days may not be fair always. That's when I'll be there always. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always. You got it?
You got that?
Here we go. I'll be loving you. Ah, beautiful. With a love that's true. It's deafening roar. When the things you plan need a helping hand, I will understand. Days may not be fair. I look like Mickey Mouse there. That's when I'll be there. Lovely. Not for just an hour, not for just a day, not for just a year, but always. Thank you for your help in that song, and you're all in fine tune. Please sing along to any of these songs or whistle. There is nothing more pleasant than hearing somebody whistle to a tune, don't you think, Grahame?
I love it.
What have we got? What's the next one?
We have South of the Border.
Oh, South of the Border. Yes. This was written, this is a 1930 song. It was written in 1939 for a Gene Autry film, and it was written by an Irish composer in London. Yeah, he was inspired by a postcard from Acapulco. And he wrote this song, and it was included in the film. The name of the composer is Jimmy Kennedy. He also wrote Do the Hokey Cokey, Red Sails in the Sunset. And do you know that there's a South of the Border now on the hit parade? Because song titles can't be copyrighted. Songs can be copyrighted, but song titles can't. So if you go online and you look up the lyrics of South of the Border, it'll come up with something else entirely. It just goes on and on and on, actually. And Always. There's also someone's written an Always song. Now, we do this as a rumba, as you can hear, and we do it in the C of key. South of the border, down Mexico way. That's where I fell in love when stars above come out to play. And now as I wander, my thoughts ever stray south of the border, down Mexico way. He was a picture in old Spanish lace. Just for a tender while I kissed the smile upon her face, for it was fiesta, and we were so gay. South of the border, down Mexico way. And she smiled as she whispered, Mañana, never dreaming that we were parting. But I lied as I whispered, Mañana, for our tomorrows never came. South of the border, I rode back one day. There in a veil of white, by candlelight, she knelt to pray. The mission bells told me that I mustn't stay. South of the border, down Mexico way. Ay, 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 ay.
Ay, ay, ay.
Ay, 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 ay. Ay, for your skin.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
well, keeps me smooth. That's for sure. And maybe if I gargle it, it might make my voice a bit smoother, I think. You know, a very smooth singer was Nat King Cole.
Absolutely.
And this is a song that's synonymous with Nat King Cole, even though it was written way back in 1928. When, well, Nat King Cole then would have been a boy in short pants, I assume, because he started performing in the late 30s. So he would have been a boy in short pants.
30s. Mm.
Yeah, late 30s. Someone didn't turn up, apparently. The bass player didn't turn up to one of his gigs. And so they had to play without a bass player. And that created his famous bassless sound. Did you know that, Grahame?
I knew that. Yeah.
You knew that. In fact, Grahame told me. And the song is called Sweet Lorraine. And we're going to dedicate it to all of you with the name Loza. So for Loza, this is for you. I just found joy. I just found joy. I'm as happy as a baby boy who was playing with his choo-choo toy. When I'm with my sweet Lorraine, she has a pair of eyes that are blue than the summer skies. When you see them, you will realize I love my sweet Lorraine. When it's raining, I don't need that sun, 'cause it's in my sweetie's smile. Don't you know that I'm the lucky one who will meet her down the aisle? Each night I pray that nobody steals her heart away. I can't wait until that lucky day when I hear Grahame play Sweet Lorraine. I just found joy. I was happy as a baby boy who was playing with his choo-choo toy. When I'm with my sweet Lorraine, sweet Lorraine, sweet Lorraine. Baba-dooba-do, baba-dooba-dee. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Because Grahame was doing something lovely. Ah, that's what happens. That's what happens. My apologies, Grahame.
You're welcome.
I'm welcome. Walking my baby back home. Oh, this is a beautiful song. And Paul McCartney played this song.
Really?
Sang this song. Yeah, he did. But I found it online. You find so much great music online. I found this online in a Japanese version from the 1950s, a singer called Grahame Conlon. And I used to be a big fan of watching MASH on TV. And I'm sure you were too. And you know those episodes where they would have Japanese radio going through the loudspeakers, Japanese big bands playing through the loudspeakers. Well, this version of Walking My Baby Back Home was played by a Japanese big band and with Grahame Conlon singing in English and Japanese. Now, I won't sing it in Japanese, but it made me fall in love with the song. And I was just listening to it again last night.
Fantastic.
Walking My Baby Back Home. We'll just sing it through once.
Sure.
CC, which is the key. G break after being up late, walking my baby back home. Coming up over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home. We go along harmonizing a song, or I'm reciting a poem. Hours go by and they give me the eye, walking my baby back home. We stop for a while, she gives me a smile and snuggles her head on my chest. We started to pet, and that's when I get a powder all over my bed. After I kind of straighten my tie, she has to borrow my comb. One kiss, then we continue again, walking my baby back home. Walking my baby back home. Walking my baby back home. And that's how they ended on the Japanese. Walking my baby back home. Indeed, indeed. Here we go. Where or when? Oh, that's always bad form. My apologies for bending my head like that. I hope you didn't see my bald spot.
They saw mine.
I can't see your bald spot. Where is it, Grahame? This is a song that I first heard sung by Buddy Clark, who was a singer in the 1930s who based himself on Bing Crosby. He had a beautiful voice. And on American radio, he was the Carnation Contented Hour singer. He sang to contented cows.
Yeah, sure.
So let's milk this one.
Oh,
boom, boom.
You could play the other one, I guess.
And what's that?
I had no idea.
The other song?
I was just dropping the other joke.
Oh, the other joke. Oh, I missed it. Oh, bang, bang. And we'll do two choruses of this.
Beautiful.
Yeah, here we go. It seems we stood and talked like this before. We looked at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where. Oh, the clothes you're wearing are the clothes you wore. The smile you were smiling then, but I can't remember where or when. Some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but no knows where or when. Ma dove e quando m'apparisti tu? Sei tu l'incantesimo di un sogno d'oro che mi fa sognare ancora di più. Ma dove e quando è nato il nostro amore? Perché io ti stringo sul mio cuore così e ti bacio con languore così. Tu che sei tutta la mia vita, dimmi tu senti questo amore, ma chissà quando noi potremo sapere qual è il mistero di questo amore che avvince i nostri I wasn't going to hold that long note, but I thought, we'll give it a go.
I was trying you out there. Extend that ending a little bit longer, see how we go. You did well.
Thank you, Grahame. And our next selection of songs from the 1920s and 1930s goes a little bit like this. So you play, Grahame, and I'll guess what the tune is.
Yeah, what have we got? I've run out of songs.
After Where or When? What have we got there? Oh, it's a song. It's you.
Band. No,
You're on, Grahame. You're on.
My goodness. Okay. How about no. Lovely song. Moonlight in Vermont.
Moonlight in Vermont. I was looking through our extensive collection of CDs. You know, we've made 8 albums. And Moonlight in Vermont, we haven't recorded that yet. Whoops. But maybe one of these days we will. Now, we have recorded the next song. Oh, yeah, which we're going to
Switch to the...
we're going to switch to the banjo.
The instrument that shall not utter its name.
Louis Armstrong was a great fan of the banjo. Well, I'm not sure actually.
Yeah, perfect pitch.
Well, Johnny Sincere, he's played banjo in Louis Armstrong songs in the 1920s with his 5s and 7s. And just behind the camera, actually, Grahame's got a photo of Louis Armstrong, and Louis Armstrong was the person who got me into this music, because when I was a wee snip of a lad, I turned on the telly, which I should not have done, and there was an interruption in programming, and during the interruption they played a soundie, and the soundie was Louis Armstrong. It was just Louis Armstrong in front of a curtain with his white handkerchief blowing through his cornet, and I thought, wow, that is fantastic, what great music, and I've been hooked on it ever since. And this song is one that Louis never recorded. And Frank Silver, the guy who wrote it, he had an orchestra and they never played it.
Wait till you hear the song. You won't know why.
How about we give them a taste? We'll give you a taste. Can you name this tune? We have no bananas today. With string beans and onions, cabbages and scallions and all. today. Just try our coconuts and walnuts and donuts. There ain't many nuts like they. We'll sell you 2 kinds of red herring, dark brown and bull-bearing. But yes, we have no bananas. We have no bananas today. We have no bananas today. We have no bananas.
Have a banana.
Have a banana. Oh, I'm lowering my head again.
Oh, what do we have?
The Charleston.
We have, Charleston.
Now, the Charleston we do have on our latest album, Tin Pan Alley Volume. Our latest album is actually Tin Pan Alley Volume 2, which incidentally, Grahame, I didn't tell you, so this is news to Grahame. It just got reviewed in the US magazine specialising in 20s and 30s music called The Syncopated Times.
Fantastic.
They said some very nice things about it. And on Volume 1, we do a version of the Charleston.
Indeed.
Not too dissimilar to the version, no, very dissimilar to the version we're going to do now because we do it with a 6-piece band. But here it's just Grahame and us. It's unplugged. Unplugged. Charleston, Charleston, Lady Carolina. Some friends all say there's nothing finer than a Charleston. Charleston, boy, how you can shop from every step that leads to something new. Man, I'm telling you, it's a absolute back step. Wing step will be a back bump, but the Charleston one, that dance is sure you come up sometime. You dance it one time, the dance called the Charleston, made in South Carolina. Oh, Charleston, the new Charleston, made in Carolina. Some dance, some France war. I say there's nothing finer than a Charleston. Every step you do leads to something new. Man, I'm telling you, it's a absolute back dance. Oh, wing dance will be a back number, but the Charleston, the new Charleston one. That dance is sure you come on sometime. You dance it one time, but that's called the Charleston, made in South Carolina. Ha, cha! Absolutely. Bananas give you energy. Bananas make you sing. Isn't there an ad? Something about something makes you sing? Something that gives you wings? I can't think what it is. Oh, I think it might have been for a soft drink product.
Not sunscreen. Banana boat.
No. That song. What that song has a title, doesn't it?
Yes.
Mana Mana.
Mana.
That's Mana Mana. So, now we're not going to do Mana Mana. We are going to sing now. Oh, Road to Gundagai.
That's it.
And this has a very special connection with Waverley because it was many years ago that someone in the audience at Bondi Pavilion said to us, play something Australian. And we immediately thought of this song by Jack O'Hagan, On the Road to Gundagai, where he wrote about a town that he never visited. Well, he visited, how many, I've got to use my mathematics here, 34 years after he wrote the tune. 1922 he wrote the song, 1956 he visited the town for the centenary of the town. Let's take that Road to Gundagai, Grahame. There's a track winding back to an old-fashioned shack along the road to Gundagai, where the gum trees are growing, the Margaret Beach is flowing beneath the sunny skies, where my gum trees are growing, the Murrumbidge is flowing beneath the... Where my mummy and daddy are waiting for me, and the pals of my childhood once more I shall see. So no more shall I roam, 'cause I'm heading right for home along the road to... There's an old-fashioned Ford made of rubber, tin and board along the road to Gundagai. The radiator's hissing, half the engine's missing, the oil tank's running dry. There's water in the petrol and the sand in the gears, and it hasn't seen a garage for 20 odd years. But by George, hear it roar when the pedal hits the floor along the road to God. Road to Gundagai. Grahame, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's your cue for the guitar and to play another one of your lovely melodies.
Oh.
Road to Gundagai is on our album, Doing the Charleston, which you can hear on Spotify, and where all good music is played. May I say, Grahame,
Yes, yes, yes.
may I say, and without fear of contradiction, that all the albums we've made, all 8 of them, have been seminal artefacts of Australian music. Very important. All of them are very important albums.
Sounds important.
It sounds important. Quick, interview me on the radio. What are you going to play for us?
I might play an old Django Reinhardt ballad that he wrote back in the 30s. Ding dong. Nuage, it's called.
Nuage.
It's in French. It's a French word for clouds.
Ah.
So we'll see how we go.
That song?
He did.
He wrote that song. The internet, it is a wonderful thing, because I was listening to Django Reinhardt just the other day, And it happened to come up that he was playing with an American, and the American's name was Big Boy Goody, Goudie, but pronounced Goody. And I'd never heard of him before. He started on guitar, he played trumpet and saxophone. He was a Texan, and he played in all these French bands, including Django Reinhardt's in France. Of course, French bands in France in the 1930s. And they called him Big Boy because he was 6'5" tall, and he was built like a brick house. Not a house of straw, not a house of wood, but a big brick. And there is some excellent recordings of him, radio broadcasts from the late 50s and early 60s that are online from San Francisco, where he's playing with Earl Father Hines and other people, which very quickly leads me to segue as we get ready to the next tune. Are we going to play guitar or banjo next?
Guitar.
Guitar,
yes.
Now, every Tuesday from 12:04, because they have news at 12, till 2 o'clock on 107.3 2SER, and it's also online, 2SER.com, I play a non-stop mix of swing and jazz from live 1920s to 1960s radio and TV. It's called The Phantom Dancer. And many of you will be relieved to know that I hardly talk on The Phantom Dancer. It's a mix, but it's a mix of live music from radio shows from the 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even into the 60s. So I might play some of that Earl Father Hines stuff from San Francisco with Big Boy Goody later, maybe in a few months on The Phantom Dancer. But that's 2SER, 12:04 till 2. It's also 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, but you can hear it online anytime, 2SER.com. There's about 2 years of programs online that you can hear anytime for free. Speaking of free, the best things in life are free. The next best things in life, or the best next thing in life, is the next song. Can you guess what that is? Yes. Marlene Dietrich's theme song. It must be sung by a singer with great sex appeal. But since I'm the only one here...
Hang on, hello.
Yeah, please, get someone here straight away to sing this song. It's from the film The Blue Angel. And we'll play it through twice. It's a waltz. 1, 2, 3. Falling in love again, I never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it. Love's always been my game, play it how I may. Well, I was made that way, I can't help it. Women flutter around me like moths about a flame. It's true. And if their wings burn, well, I'm certainly not to blame. Falling in love again, though I never wanted to. What am I to do? I can't help it. Ich bin von Kopf bis Fuß auf Liebe eingestellt. Denn das ist meine Welt und sonst gar nichts. Das ist, was soll ich machen? Es ist meine Natur. Wo ich kann, hat Liebe nur und sonst gar nichts. Frauen umspielen mich wie Motten das Licht. Und wenn sie Söpfe brennen, ja, dafür kann ich nicht. Ich bin von Kopf bis Fuß auf Liebe eingestellt. Denn das ist meine Welt und sonst gar nicht. Oh, how's that for... Oh, I laid on the smarm there.
You dog.
Oh, my goodness. Please don't swoon, or swoon with care. Make sure you stay safe, because we'd like you to hear the next song. We hope you're enjoying these tunes from the 1920s and 1930s. You start the song, I'll guess what it is. Picture you upon my knee, just tea for two and two for tea, just me for you, and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known that we own a telephone. Hello, hello. Day will break, you'll awake, start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? And this is a cha-cha. You upon my knee, just tea for two, and two for tea, just me for you, and you for me alone. Nobody near us to see us or hear us, no friends or relations on weekend vacations. We won't have it known that we on a telephone party. Day will break and you'll awake and start to bake a sugar cake for me to take, for all the boys to see. We will raise a family, a boy for you and a girl for me. Can't you see how happy we will be? Can't you see how happy we will be? Can't you see how happy we will be? Cha-cha-cha. Well, I was playing around with the phrasing there, inspired, Grahame, by your venturing into unknown territory on the guitar.
Shapes, man, shapes.
Shapes, yeah. I felt them.
Thank you, Keith.
Okay, now we're going to play Name That Tune. Grahame has memorised the tune. Amapola, lindissima amapola, sarà sempre in mia macchina sola. Yo te quiero, amare niña mía, igual que amar la flor de luz del día. Amapola, lindísima amapola, nos seas tan ingrata, llórame. Amapola, amapola, ¿cómo puedes tú vivir tan sola? That lovely flower, so sweet and heavenly. Since I found you, my heart is wrapped around you, and loving you it seems to be a rhapsody. Oh, oh, my pretty little puppy must copy its endearing charms from Amapola, Amapola. Oh, I long to hear you say I love you, Amapola, Amapola. Amapola. I sang it in order. Spanish was the first set of lyrics, written in 1920, and then after the composer died, Calloway, then a guy called Albert Gumsey, he wrote the English lyrics. It became the quintessential rumba song of the 1930s and a favourite of opera singers. A bit like Besame Mucho. You know, Besame Mucho, I think Andres Bocelli, he sings that, and Carreras and Pavarotti, they sang Amapola. But did they sing it and play it as well as we did? Send your yes or no on a postcard to Waverley Council, the wonderful people who have put together today's Facebook Live. The wonderful Todd and Michael, thank you very much for having us. And, oh, we're getting a thumbs up. Is it time to go? Oh, it's time for us to wind up the cat and put out the clock. So, no time for another song, that's it. One more song? One or... No? One song?
A short one.
Tiny song. A tiny song.
One chorus. One chorus.
One chorus of My Blue Heaven. My Blue Heaven.
Ready?
When the whippoor's call and the evening is nigh, I hurry my heaven. I turn to the right, a little white line will lead you to my heaven. You'll see a smiling face, a fireplace, a cozy room, a little nest that nestles where the roses bloom. Just Molly and me, and baby's three.